I'm Nicolas David Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension, and I'd like to welcome you to this free Divine Healing webinar, Opening to Your Abundance. So what I'd like to hear from you guys is just briefly, those of you on camera, and those of you who are not on camera if you want to, just say your name, where you are, and what brought you here and what you'd like from this. We're sort of setting intention really for the webinar. It'll sort of flow depending on how the energy's set in the next 10-15 minutes. Okay. So Daniel, do you want to say your piece?
Hi, I'm Daniel, calling from or sitting in London, and what brought me to this webinar is an interest in the work that you do, Nicolas, and going into another layer of subconscious, going to another layer of the divine, and I'm open to another step on my journey of discovery.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. All right, who else would like to go? Gabriella?
Yes, hello everybody. I'm calling from Switzerland. In past 2 months, I have 2 divine healing sessions, which definitely opened something in me. And right now, I want to experience something new. And in the future, I also considering doing a course of divine healing. So I'm here today to learn something more and to be open and experience more.
Okay, thank you, Gabriella. Hi, Anna. Nice to meet you. Do you want to sort of let us know why you're here?
Hello. So I'm Anna, and I'm also calling from Switzerland, actually not far from Gabriela. And I did level 1 of divine healing last year, and that really opened a lot of different doors in my life. And I'm interested to do level 2. So for me today, okay, I have the intention because I know we will be receiving some healing. So my intention is really to balance what needs to be balanced, but also to have a feeling how it will be to do the divine healing level 2 online, because my level 2 was done in person. So just to test a little bit this solution.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Anna. All right, Irene. You want to unmute first?
Hi.
Hi.
Here to try divine healing to see if I would like to do some work on myself to heal some blockages I have, and to work on my intuition and my psychic abilities. So I need to do some healing work for myself. So I'm trying to see if this is the right type of healing. I don't know. It's like...
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do. All right, thank you, Irene. Katie, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm Katie. I just did the previous webinar just a week ago, so I really enjoyed that, and I was coming back to experience this one in this topic area. So I think yeah, I'm just interested in it, possibly interested in doing the divine healing as well in March. So
okay, all right, welcome. Normally it's about 70-80% North Americans, but we seem to have a slight change today on the camera, so it varies a lot. So okay, so would anyone else like to introduce themselves who is not on camera? You can just speak if you want, only if you want to, just an opportunity to connect. No? Okay. All right. So Joanna and Shorty, I'm just going to mute you because we're getting a little bit of background noise here. Okay, so yeah, just have mute when we're not speaking. So I'm going to show a little presentation now. So let me just get that presentation up here. I'm going to share the screen. Just a minute. Get technology working. Here it is. There you go. So So I picked a really abundant picture here of fruits and abundance of the earth here, just to sort of get us started, really. And opening to your flow of abundance is always a very popular webinar, this one, because there seems to be a lack of it in this reality, and we'll sort of talk a little bit about that. So how many of you have a feeling there's something very special for you to do in this world, but you can't rely on the universe to give you what you need so you can actually do this? Put your hand up if you've got that. Yeah. You know, it's a deep soul drive in us to deliver our gift to the world, really. And what happens? Yeah, if you get dropped off the webinar, which happens sometimes if you've got Wi-Fi, then just log back in and you'll be fine. It'll remember you and plug you back in. It happens occasionally. Don't be alarmed by that. So, as light workers, most of us have this fear of stepping into the life we really desire. It's because we have to work through the issue of trusting Great Spirit, God, or whatever you want to call it. Because the very fact of coming into a body means that we actually don't trust God. We don't trust in the flow of life, because we go through an experience of separation from that unity, from that pure love, unity consciousness when we embody. And so we have to learn how to trust again, which is actually what this webinar is really about. There are 3 core programs. I'm going to jump around this presentation a little bit. These 3 core programs that happen when you come into a body, when you're born. The first thing you feel is abandonment by God. This is the deep primal pre-verbal level, because you come into a body and you've separated from your mother, from that warm space, and now you're in the world, cold, hard, bright world by yourself. And then you feel unworthy to be loved by God because you just got spat out into the earth plane. And the next thing that happens is you feel you don't trust God anymore, whereas previously you had total trust. And these are the 3 core programs that drive the way our egos are built, each in its own unique way. And so today we're going to work on the mistrust of God. We worked on abandonment by God last week, Katie. That was the actual core theme of what we're working on. So if you can resolve these 3 core programs in you, then you connect back to higher consciousness. And if you can do that, then everything you desire, if it's in divine order, will happen in your life. So trusting in the flow of God is really important here. That's some context of what we're actually doing. So I used to sit in a glass box in the city in London, getting a nice salary. And after a while, wishing I was somewhere else. Wish I was doing that special thing, which I knew. I was 36, 37 when I was still in my glass box. And I knew there was something very special I was here to do, and I couldn't quite get there. And I knew it wasn't sitting in this comfortable job. Well, becoming uncomfortable, actually, because I just wasn't fitting in anymore. And I knew that I had to take a great leap forward here. So one day, in a clear blue sky, this 200-foot cloud in the shape of an angel flew by and looked at me. It was the only cloud on the sky, and it wasn't really a cloud, I don't think. So that really got my attention. And then a few months later, I was at a spiritual retreat called Corte Romero in Spain. It was brilliant sunrise, bright orange sunrise. And I woke up and I was looking at the sunrise, and the voice in me said, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this corporate job anymore. Which wasn't working so well after a while, even though it was very good initially. And so I knew that I had to leave. And so I knew I had to step into the life I really desired, which was not working for someone else. That was the first thing I knew. So And I had been doing this work. I've been doing healing work and subcontract work, and numerology work, sort of in the weekends really in London for 7 years. This was in 1997. But I knew I just had to leave this job, and I didn't quite know how I was going to do this. I just knew that it wasn't here. So I went and told my boss. He wasn't too happy about this. I was going to leave, but I negotiated to stay part-time so I could gradually create this business I'm running now. And I did that for about 6 months, and I went traveling about a year just to detox from the corporate world. And then I came back to London because I still wasn't quite sure what to do. I was just following my nose, really. I was traveling in the Andes and the Himalayas just to get to these high frequency places. So I just started to trust in the flow what I was meant to do next. And I wasn't even sure which country I was going to live in. I could have gone home to New Zealand, but I ended up back here. And so I came back here. The point is that, and I started doing this business full time. And that's where my fear really came up for a good 2 years, because I had no idea how to run this business for starters. I'd been in the corporate world with a manual, and then I had to trust that it would work out. So I spent 2 years clenching my teeth and grinding them away. It's like to get a mouth guard. My dentist said, "Oh, you're going to have no teeth left." So a lot of fear came up in my ego about stepping forward into that life. So I had to really work on that. I had to let go of safety. I had to go in the moment with the flow of spirit so I could deliver my gift of service to the world, which is what I'm doing now. So I sort of lived through this whole thing. It was pretty scary. And we didn't have divine healing in those days either. So it took a lot longer to clear things. Didn't really have we had much simpler healing tools. So making the transition and stepping through the fear and trusting to in life to go with what you really desire is a big step. And we're going to work a little bit today on how do you actually clear the programming in the ego, which feels it doesn't trust in God, because it's a very deep primal thing. Because if you can do that and step into what you desire and trust in the flow, then life opens. All sorts of interesting things happen. Okay, a lot of the conditioning of the matrix falls away because you realize actually the more you trust, the more things do flow in wonderful ways. So, how are we going to clear that fear? That's what we're going to work on today. Some of you have seen some of this before, but the processes will be different that we do in terms of what we focus on. So what is divine healing? It's a multidimensional healing system whose purpose is to open to grace, which essentially is designed to burn your ego, to burn through all the layers of your ego so you return in consciousness to source. That's essentially what it's for. It's a very powerful way of, it's actually really for enlightenment, to burn the ego so that it no longer is acting as a filter, creating a lot of the fears and limitations we have. And it comes from source, it comes from many different groups of beings in the higher dimensions. It's a very quick and simple and profound and accurate set of tools which you can use on yourself and others to reconnect to spiritual levels as you clean out all your ego programming. It's very empowering when you can do it on yourself. It's the way home. How many of you feel there's something's not quite right about this reality, that something's wrong with it? Put your hand up. Hi there. Yeah, well, it is, because we're playing a game of separation from spirit. We've separated in consciousness from all that is. And this process of divine healing is to get back in consciousness to that pure state that we know we truly are. And so essentially, divine healing can help you make your life really happen. It can help you actually fulfill your dreams if you're clear enough of the separation program. It takes time. You can take those visions you have and start to turn them into reality. It's not going to happen overnight. There's no quick fix in awakening. It takes time. No matter what anyone says to you, it does take time. But you can heal very deeply and completely. you can reconnect to your true essence and bring more love and joy and open to the flow of abundance. Because that's what love is. When we open to love, we open to the flow of abundance. And as that happens, you start to become the master of your life. You take charge rather than feeling at effect of the world. You actually affect the world. You change things in the world. And then as you open to that flow of abundance, you can deliver your gift of service to the world, which is what we all desire at a deep level. So here's a nice little red onion that I use. So this is us, or you. This is the spark of the divine that landed and felt really out of sorts when it landed on Earth. And this is the ego, many layers of the ego onion that your soul put in place is the filter, so you see the world in a certain way. And divine healing basically peels this onion, which is what we're going to do today. We're going to peel some issues around abundance and trust. Peels the onion in a specific order, so gradually you work your way back down to the pure love, which is who you are. So what we're doing is that we actually came from source here. We were pure love, and then source had an outbreath of itself. And basically it went from the 12th dimension, the model we used, down all the way down to the 3rd dimension, which is us in this seemingly solidified form, densified light. And by the time it got down to here, the spark of the divine in us forgot that it came from here, which is why we feel the sense of separation, abandonment, unworthiness, and lack of trust in the source, because we're so far removed from this. So the purpose of divine healing is to open this up, passageway back to source, by clearing all the programming that creates the illusion that you're small, maybe helpless, maybe feeling like a victim type of human being, sitting in fear away from source. Because if you open up this connection and trust in it, then a different sort of life happens, because source starts to come through you and flow into the world. Okay? Just that our attention is focused down here when actually we're multidimensional, we're everywhere actually. Okay? So, what happens when you try and bring feeling consciousness? What happens when you start to feel your ego program? Say fear comes up. I had a lot of fear when I first started this business. Well, I went to avoidance. I just worked harder to numb out the feeling of the fear. But then I realized that wasn't working so well. Then I started doing this. I started judging it and feeling bad about it. I should be calm. I should be tranquil. I should be really more centered. I should meditate more. But then I thought, no, too busy just trying to earn a living. So I didn't meditate so much. But actually what I've learned, which is the principle of divine healing, is that I needed to resonate and own all that came up in me. Quite good or bad, dark or light. I had to bring feeling consciousness to all the programs in me, just accept them for what they were. And just get a sense of where they came from. Because if I did that, what then happens is that the program starts to dissolve, which is what this is here. I'm just going to have a little drink. So the key for healing, the key to get home, back to source, is to have the willingness, desire, and courage to actually bring feeling consciousness, which is the blue stuff here, to the issue, which is, say, fear or lack of trust. Okay? Because if you can feel it, you can heal it. Okay? Feel the fear of stepping into the life you desire. Because the ego is very pain averse. It will try to avoid all negative emotions, which is why people get into their addictions and busyness and all the other distractions of life. And this is the core approach. It's turning to the very things the ego wishes not to feel. But what the ego does is it goes and puts this layer of protection around us. It's ice. emotionalized, so you can't feel the program, even though even if you are willing and consciously wanting to look at it. So what we do here, because you can't feel it, you can't heal it, which is the strategy of the ego. So what you do here is that we bring feeling consciousness to it, and you may use divine healing, which uses the higher self, to break through these defense mechanisms gradually. And as that happens, then we can bring this consciousness to feel the fear in this case. Then it dissolves, because that's all the soul wanted to do. It wants to have an experience of gradually feeling its way back to source by clearing all these programs. So what is the key to trusting in the flow? Opening to abundance is this. Using the processes just described, it's all about clearing our ego personality, which is this lower impermanent personality here, with a mental and emotional body, energy bodies and physical body, full of all these separation programs that came from being born, because it comes from our soul. And the source of abundance is the higher self, the part of us which is in the higher dimensions from the previous diagram. So if you can clean out the lower self and open to the higher self by opening up what this is called here, the Antakarana, this is going to flow through you. And as it flows through you, abundance and love opens up into your life. But you've got to actually clear this bit down the bottom first, which is what divine healing is for. So as you clear it, this is what happens. You actually gradually get a clearer personality construct. And then the Antakarana opens up because your frequency rose and this unconditional love comes in, which means this actually accelerates the process of clearing the ego because all the programs are no longer judged when unconditional love comes in. It's our own self-judgment that locks our programs in, paradoxically. Because ego is always looking at its navel saying, well, what's wrong now? Does that sound familiar to people? Are you looking for what's wrong now? Yeah. So, more clearing results in the Antakarana opening up more love flows. And the more love that flows, the more you start to trust in this flow of love. And life starts to get easier. How many of you noticed being on the spiritual path, as you cleared your issues, life gets easier? Does it get a little easier? Yep. That's why people say who are on the path, you never want to be younger again. Maybe just in body, but not in experience. Because this is the process that makes life easier. And if you continue to clear the ego here, you this, and this is enlightenment. This is where the ego is totally dissolved and the Antakarana opens up to the maximum. And in this case, you totally trust in the flow of spirit. It's progressive increases in level of percentage of trust because you know that the more you open to it and trust it, the more this flows and life just manifests gracefully around you in perfection. And you actually don't have to make anything happen anymore. And there's actually nothing to fear. There's not, because you're becoming a surrendered vessel for the expression of great spirit. And you realize you're not actually in charge either. It's just spirit having an experience. It's like you become a witness of your life. And so that's when total trust comes, because you just go with what is in your heart in each moment, what we call following the spiritual signature. And if you flow with that in each moment, from the smallest to the largest things, then it's complete trust, complete surrender. And that's actually the goal. That's actually how you get abundance to flow. We're actually allowing abundance to flow because we actually get out of our own way. And in the end, you realize there's actually nothing to fear at all. Because what's happening here is that once you surrender, which is what this work is about, the surrendered ego becomes the base of this pyramid for the higher self. Okay, the God self, higher emotional body, and the non-linear mind. This becomes a servant. We become a servant, an open vessel, and this unconditional love allows you to deliver your gift. And you become very unconditional, just accept all things as they are, and our ego agendas drop away, and life opens. So what we're doing here is that, we're doing this. We're moving from following the path of suffering, as the Buddha talks about, following the path of the ego, the dotted line. So this is little old us, stuck on the airplane, stuck on the third rock from the sun, struggling to learn our way out of here, to expanding our consciousness and moving to follow what's called the spiritual signature here, which is in each moment there's one heart-opening action to take. And if you converge on this gradually, it's taken me years to do this, then life opens. And the more you trust, the more let go, the less fear you have as you do that, life opens, because the vastness of higher consciousness is actually guiding you in each moment. Okay. How does that sound? Any comments? Just put your microphone on if you want to share.
Now, can I ask you something? Because I do trust God completely.
Yeah.
But I'm a kind of already connected to souls.
Yeah.
Not completely, but yeah, I mean, I receive guidance.
Yeah.
How is this going to work for me? Because I still have some ego getting in the way and some negativity and some other issues. But in terms of, the first 3 programs, I actually don't have those.
Well, I would beg to differ, but irony, because if you didn't have them, you'd be teaching us.
With trusting God?
You'd be teaching us.
If I didn't have...
If you totally trusted, you'd be enlightened, you see. So most of the programming is deeply subconscious.
Trusting God is like removing what doesn't allow completely, the physical aspect, so the negativity, but it's not trusting the souls. You know what I mean? Like, I do trust the universe. I don't know, I don't have fear in my future on what is going on in my life.
Yeah, what I'm saying is
react to my nervous system, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah, the key is to actually work with whatever presents in each moment in our life. Like this layer of onion will come up. And it doesn't matter what it is. And it's not something you can try and figure out either. Whatever presents is the layer of separation consciousness to work on. Okay? And then you integrate that, then you work on the next layer of the onion and the next layer. And only the higher self knows how to peel that onion. We can't think our way, we can't figure out how to become conscious, because that's from the limitation of the ego mind. So we just have to work with whatever. If you're feeling different issues come up, Irene, you just got to work with them as they come up. And if you did that, what happens is that the onion peels in the right order and you gracefully awaken. Okay? Although sometimes it's not graceful, stuff comes up quite strongly. Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't sit there and think about what's going on. How do I get to awakening? It's just about feeling your way through the process of life with whatever happens. And that's usually a very unusual path. It goes all over the place. It doesn't go in a linear straight line. It jumps everywhere. That's actually what life is like.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So life is not a puzzle to be figured out. Life is a process of feeling it out in each moment, really. And that's all we can do. I mean, if you think about your lives, if you think back 10, 15 years, could you imagine your life as the way it is now?
No. Probably
not, because the onion got peeled in a way you couldn't even understand. You see, it's not about that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions? Thanks, Irene.
Thank you.
Hello.
Okay, who's that? I can't see you.
It's Joanne. It's Joanna Moen. Sorry, I'm not on the video.
Okay, have you got a camera?
Kinda, but I'm really not tech savvy here, so.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll try and switch it on. Just click say yes to that, and we'll see if we can get it going. Did your little window come up there? There you go. See, that wasn't too bad.
Okay.
Go for it.
Just real quick on, because I love the analogy of peeling back the onion. I think that's probably what has gotten me through on going through each layer and treating it as a healing. My question is how I kind of am hard on myself on some of these layers that I am working through, where, you know, I was on a roll and I'm trusting and, you know, I'm feeling really good and I'm, you know, gaining that higher awareness about myself and forgiveness and wisdom. But I just had a layer come up that was pretty scary for me as far as a recreation of what had happened to me in childhood.
Yep.
And it felt like I actually slipped on this piece of onion, and I just was really ticked off at God again. So I guess, and I meditate, you know, and everything, but I get hard on myself because I didn't mean to take it out on God, but I think I have that tendency of this unworthiness of, dang it, I didn't want to feel that way. I didn't want the anger. I didn't want to blame, you know, that person or blame God again, because I thought I was making momentum here.
What often happens, Joanna, is that we revisit the same program many times. But it's not that you didn't feel it the first time, it's just that you went to a finer layer of it. Okay, that's actually how it works. That's why things repeat quite often. So you haven't regressed, you just went deeper into it.
Okay.
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 Yeah, and the first thing to do, which we teach in Divine Healing, is to let go of any judgment or feeling bad about a program, because that just locked the program down even more.
Yeah.
Okay, it's about saying, okay, there's that awful program again. I feel terrible, but just about being with it. And if you just be with it and accept it unconditionally, you'll notice it starts to leave and transform. But the ego is pretty keen on judging the program because it's always looking for what's wrong, as you might have noticed. Okay, that's how we stay separate from God. And the joke is, we are spark of the divine. You are God. It's not separate from you. It's just one great soul having this experience.
Okay. Yeah, I think that it's the perfection side of me too that I kind of struggle with. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah, so just be kind to yourself. Just everything that comes up when it's ready. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to share there? No? Okay. All right. Daniel.
Just to say that since I did the Divine Healing Level 1 course, and certainly in the last few weeks, I've been absolutely exhausted, unable to function normally. And I don't know if it's ego suppression or rejection or whether I'm just going too fast, but I could relate to what Joanna was saying about feeling that I've stepped backwards. But I would offer that if there's something there to do with perfectionism, often that's got linkage to do with shame. So looking at some shame programming might help if you mentioned perfectionism, Joanna. But for me, I'm just raising the issue of exhaustion. So I'm taking a couple of days off to go off the grid for the next few days just to recharge my energy batteries. But I'm not sure if I should be doing less or more when I'm feeling that exhausted.
How much Divine Healing are you doing a week, Daniel?
Well, I was doing a couple of hours, and I've taken a break for a week and a half because, as I say,
Is that every day or every once a week?
No, I might do 45 minutes one day, and I might have 2 days break, and then do another hour, and then try and fit it in again.
That's okay. You're not overdoing it. It's fine. I think what's happening is that if you look at the stupa here, this is a metaphor. Buddhist burial is a metaphor for growth. Okay, so you're going around the stupa, and then you keep meeting the same program, which is this dotted line. You keep meeting it again and again as you rise in consciousness, which is what happens as you go up the stupa. But you may notice that it's finer layers every time. So you're not regressing, you're actually progressing.
So that's why the same types of things come up when I'm using the manual, and I'm on a certain page, and that one again. I'm questioning, is it just my memory because it's the synapses are formed and it went there last time? Is it just there again?
Yeah, your soul's busy digging that layer of the onion out in a hurry.
Okay.
Because you got the tool. And what happens is the reason you get tired is because a lot of energy went to suppressing the program to hold it in place. And when you let the program go, the body goes, oh, I can let that go. And all the fatigue of holding on to it, 30, 40 years comes out of you. That's why you feel exhausted when you do this work sometimes.
So if at the end of a day, a working day, I'm shattered, would you say that's okay to then just put out the manual, and even though I can barely open my eyes, just that's the best way to go to sleep? Or would you say no? Just
do what feels right, because if you've got a program running, just keep clearing it. But you'll notice that after a while, the exhaustion from holding the program for so long leaves, and you feel more energized at a fundamental core level. That's actually what happens as you free programs.
Well, I think clearly I've retreated too early. I need to go back onto the coalface. Thank you.
Yeah, you need to keep peeling it. Okay, that's what you need to do. So what happens is, let me get back to the other presentation. So when you get to the top of the stupa, after a while the program is not there anymore, and on that particular issue you are sort of enlightened on that issue because you've cleared enough of it. Okay, so that mechanism I was just describing is down the bottom here. So this is our life force energy, the blue guys, and the programs are blocking the life force. So you get diminished life force, and you get too much diminished, you get depressed. Okay, low energy, pain, limitation. But as you clear the programs, they come up. And what happens is that the blockages, they dissolve here. Life force starts to flow and energy comes back, but the letting go process is where all the fatigue comes out. It comes out of here. So it takes a little while for this bit here to re-energize and start moving again. Okay, so that's the source of getting your energy back. Okay. Any other questions? Because what we're going to do, otherwise we're going to move forward and we're going to actually have a direct experience of working on.
It's gone funny.
Flow of abundance. Who was that? Kay. No?
Sorry, just a little thing. Thank you for connecting me late, by the way. I was just recently looking into a new voluntary job, and it's to do with dog walking for the guide dogs, which isn't like some lifelong dream that I've thought of doing. My mum has a guide dog, so there's a connection. What my question really is, does it really matter what it is we're doing? We may think it's not our passion, the thing that we're doing at this time. Like, my mind tends to yearn for something that may just be a constant thing that my mind's doing, always yearning for something else. But just, is it more using whatever ideas you have or to do in this life to do the healing work so that we go home, as in, like, when we die, we've done the work that we need to do, rather than the actual goals that you thought you had in life? Or is it just that some of us don't always live our dream or our destiny, but we still get where we want to go? Does that make sense?
But basically, we all have the potential to deliver our gift of service, the soul purpose or destiny. But the question is, the soul doesn't know whether you're going to make it, in terms of, will you get hold of the right tools that hopefully lays in place so you get clear emotionally enough to do the process demonstrated. So initially, things you do out in the world to earn a living probably aren't going to be as satisfying as they are if you make more progress later in life. It all depends what you're meant to do, you see. So whatever's happening in the moment is what you need in that moment, and that holds the gateway to whatever's going to happen next. But the more consciousness you bring to your programs and the clearer you are emotionally, the more likely you are going to get to that soul purpose or soul destiny. The more likely you're going to manifest it. But it takes dedication and focus to really get there. And a lot of people, including light workers, get lost because they get trapped in the illusions of the ego. It's very easily done.
Ah, yes.
Very easily done.
Yes, yes.
Does that help?
Yeah, that does, because I also can look at a sort of role model of a friend of mine who would have definitely been on a very healing path, had a lot of gifts, and was a healing practitioner, formerly a drug addict, and still used to cheat on his partner, but then he went and killed himself last year suddenly, like out of the blue. But that's quite a deep rift for me, because we were very spiritually connected. But I would have said that I could see where he, looking at what you just said, where the ego illusions, sort of how he worked with those and tried to get through them on his path. So it's quite interesting, actually, what you said. Thank you. Yeah.
The ego is a tough cookie. It would rather kill our body and face the pain that we need to work through. That's how seriously strong it is. Okay, unfortunately.
Yes.
So I'm sorry to hear that about your friend. Okay, so what we're going to do now,
thank you,
is that we're going to actually give you a direct experience of this. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to clear this energy interference which blocks our connections at the bottom of the fourth dimension, the bottom of the astral plane. So these are energetic beings and other different low astral being energies which stop us opening to higher consciousness. So what I'd like you to do is have your feet flat on the ground and close your eyes. And I'm going to be doing this silently, but I want you to breathe through your mouths and breathe deep into your body, deep into your belly, and just feel the energy shifts as we do this. Okay? So the first group of beings we're going to release are what we call earthbound souls. These are beings who have left the physical body, but they're hanging out with you because you've got a similar resonance to what they were going through. So breathing through your mouth is really important, because that keeps you in the body, whereas breathing through the nose keeps you in your head, and then you think about it too much. So here we go. Let's feel the shift with that one. Okay, thank the angels for your help and assistance with this. Next, we're going to release extraterrestrial presences. These are beings vibrating at a higher level, but they're sort of interfering with us. Nothing to be worried about. They're just checking us out. Feel the energy shift there. If you want to burp or yawn, or your body wants to move, just let it do that or make sound. That's okay. It's going to be quite strong with energy. So now we're going to release the final group of beings, which are discarnates, entities, and attachments. Okay. Let's feel the energy shift. I want to yawn, it's really strong. It's okay to yawn or burp. I know it's very impolite in Western terms of it, but it's releasing negative energy. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Take a few deeper breaths. Just have a little check in to see how that was. Gabriella, how was that? You have to unmute.
Yeah, a bit intensive.
Yeah.
But I can feel a release and some lightness right now.
Good. Joanna, how was that? Just unmute, bottom left.
I definitely feel lightness.
Yeah. Yeah, when you have strong emotions like you've been having recently, a lot of these interference energies hang out because they want to feed off the negative energy. So when we do this process, releasing them, you'll feel a lot better because they're triggering it in you to feed off it as food, basically. Yeah. Irene, how are you feeling?
I haven't felt anything. I don't feel anything.
Yeah, I think part of your system has got some of the turquoise ice around it. It's frozen to protect you because you're very sensitive. Okay, which is why sometimes you don't feel stuff happening. Okay, and that's okay. It'll defrost when it's ready. Okay, Katie.
Yeah, I feel okay. I felt still feel the energy moving. Felt some shaking as things were shifting.
Yeah.
And didn't have the nausea that I had last week, which is different.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Yeah. So good.
Okay, Daniel.
A few layers of tiredness are shifting. I'm just accessing how I'm feeling. So
Yeah.
the tears coming out, yawning tears, tiredness tears, energy stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, when we get very tired, it can be a deep program trying to come out, and the ego is resisting letting it go. It's taking life force to stop it coming out. So my sense is that you're on the verge of breaking through to something else.
Oh,
yeah. So keep using that manual. It'll peel it out.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Anna. Thanks, Daniel.
So definitely a lot of energy was moving. And I was again yawning and tears. This is something new for me to have tears.
Good.
And I still have a tightness here and a bit of a headache. So I have a feeling there's still more to be released.
It could be something or someone hanging out there.
Mm.
All right. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to clear some of the energy which is blocking your gift of service. Okay. So what we'll do is I just need to get the Divine Healing Manual here. I'm going to show you it. Just going to share the screen again. This is the Divine Healing Manual. It's the Master Key to Ascension. It's Ascension in Consciousness, and it's one of 5 levels. And this is about empowering yourself. And it's about transforming this 12-strand DNA, which we've got here. Mira Ariel Halle created this along with Shakira and Mary, colleagues of ours, back in 2006. And when I got hold of this, the first workshop, it totally changed my life. I started doing this every day. I just burned through a huge amount of programming. And this is the manual for the training, the 4-day training. And these 26 charts based on the letters of the alphabet. And basically they are different types of charts. There are things like angels and essences. These are frequencies, and these other things which balance you up, like chakras, things which hydrate us, things which diagnose our fears and emotions so we can clear them. Deep charts, like God consciousness, how we feel separate from God, either abandoned, unworthy, or lacking trust in God, or some combination of all of it. Hidden agendas the ego has that sabotage us. We just did the interference chart just now. Judgments and beliefs of ourselves. It's a strong one. The biggest chart here is called key psychological conflicts, how we have reversals psychologically. Like, for example, we can't accept love or won't process love. Life stresses, main low frequency programs, which is what we're going to do in a minute. Energetic nutrition, for nurturing us, integrating what's going on. Original time and age of calls. This basically is a chart which helps us get to when a program first started, because if you can target the program more accurately in terms of feeling and knowing its source, it clears more deeply. Past life deaths, we actually will do that later. We often choose the same way to die many times, and those past life feeds come into this lifetime, so we can clear them. That frees you of them. We work with the energy subtle bodies here to clean them up and repair them. There's blocks to positive living. Sabotages the core program, how we sabotage ourselves unconsciously. Most of this is very unconscious stuff. This brings it into consciousness. How to clear traumas, the type of archetypes we live out, the energetic effects of vaccines and toxins on our consciousness, finding where the issues are in the body, and different symbols and balancing charts here in short command codes. Okay? So it's sort of, in the training you learn how to use all these charts. I demonstrate them, then you practice on each other when we do this in the training. So you get a massive 4-day healing intensive effectively with the training. But what we're going to do now is we're going to do this main low frequency program here. So I'll go to that. So in this chart here, what I want you to do is close your eyes and become aware as best you can of what your gift of service is, as best you know it right now. Okay? What you truly desire to do here. Don't worry about how you're going to get there, or you don't have enough money, or whatever, or you're not good enough, all the ego programs. Just focus on what would really make your heart sing. Okay. The thing that you would like to really step into, you really desire to express in the world. And I want you to breathe through your mouth and feel whatever emotions or programs come up around that. It could be unworthiness, or I'm not good enough, or fear, oh, I don't know if I can do that. Feel whatever comes up. And breathe into that feeling, because this is the low frequency program stopping you manifesting your gift of service. And if you need a little help with determining what's there, because sometimes the ego's got this turquoise ice over that feeling that's coming up, so you don't feel it, because it knows if you feel it, then you're going to transform it. You can open your eyes and look at these low frequency programs here on this chart, and one of them is going to jump out at you. I'm going to scroll slowly through them, and if you can already feel your program, don't open your eyes. There's no need, because you've felt it. The purpose of this chart is to help you get to what that might be. because the ego is very clever in trying to lock us out of our feelings. And your eyes may just be drawn to one particular word, which is a low frequency program, and that's your word. Write it down or scroll through it a few times, okay? And don't try and figure out what it means. It doesn't matter. We'll get to that in a minute. So this is how your higher self, I've already opened the divine healing space to align you to your higher selves so that you can connect with us, because your higher self is actually the one in charge dismantling the programs. You just got to get out of the way and allow it to come and help you. Okay. Just going to scroll back up to make sure you've got the right program. Okay. So if you can feel your program, you don't have to worry about anything. If you identified it from here, okay, I want you just to become aware of how that program operates in your life. Okay, just bring consciousness to how that program is, whatever it is. And breathing through your mouth is breathe into it and bring consciousness to it, to what this thing actually does. Because now you're penetrating. What you're doing now is you're doing this. You're bringing in consciousness to the program here. You're penetrating this ice. You bring consciousness to this program, and you're going to transmute it in a little while. Now we're going to further target this program to find out the original time when it came about. So this is the original time chart. So you can see there's 24 numbers here. So what I want you to do is scan down this list. Just your eye will be drawn to one of these things, and that'll be when this happened. That's when that program first came in. You don't have to understand what it all means. We teach you all that on the training. This is when it came. It might be a past life. It could be the conception this program came in. And note down when that was. Okay. So I'd like you to open to all aspects of the feeling. It's best to do this with your eyes closed, because when your eyes are open, the mental body goes into overdrive. Become aware of any attachment you have to the program. The ego has to holding on to it. Remember, the ego is programmed to keep us in suffering away from God. Become aware of any feelings of being bad for having it. Becoming aware of especially of any judgment you may have. And judgment's quite tricky. Something we sort of get asked to do that, we realize, oh, I am judging the program. I still judge a lot of my programs. So breathing through your mouth into the program, I'm going to do the command code silently. I'm going to clear that program you're with. Just feel how it transforms as you breathe into it as I do this. We're going to do this now. Feel a shift. Okay, just take a few deep breaths now. Open your eyes. Joanna, how was that?
That one was interesting. I felt a blinking sensation in my third eye and my crown chakra.
Yeah.
And I'm now getting, as I'm saying this, I'm now getting a surge of energy.
Yeah.
Like goosebumps.
Yeah, and you just cleared something, like because energy is moving when you do this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Daniel, how was that one? Thank you, Joanna.
It was a slow starter, but a very big finish. I just felt nearly nauseous as the main low frequency program that I'd been sure was the main one went one level deeper and named itself. And I just could feel my body shaking or shifting as there was some energetic movement. So I feel lighter.
You look brighter. You look more smiley. Something's happened.
I do feel, as I do when I'm working with you like this, something beautiful, something shifts. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you. Gabriella, how was that?
First of all, I can feel many sensations in my body, shaking, faster heartbeat, and also pulsation in my head. And then this moment of the release, and I think it's still like I still have to calm down after.
Yeah,
so thank you very much.
I think you had a strong one there. So.
Yeah.
Katie, how was yours? Thanks, Gabriella.
So watching it a little bit, it kind of the emotions felt really strong when I was connecting to it, so I didn't end up using a lot of the words because I just felt emotions in different directions with that one. And I think what I have been feeling most of all since we stopped is just unsure of what's happening, unsure of letting go of it. So I'm not sure if there's some resistance there to letting go of it. It's definitely would be new to let go of it. So yeah, not sure exactly.
Okay.
Where it's gonna go. So
thank you. Okay. Anna, do you wanna share how that was?
Yes, so it was powerful and there was a release from the beginning. But again, it's not complete. Yeah, so I'm trying to release, but there is still something there that doesn't want to move. Like I try to yawn, but it doesn't come.
Yeah, or we could have a few more chats to do that. Will probably help.
So I guess it's deep.
It's deep, yeah. Tends to be deep. My healing goes very deep.
Mm-hmm.
Irene, do you want to say anything? Thank you, Anna.
Before I was seeing, when I close my eyes, I can see different colors, which I think is related to chakras. And before, when you did the flow, so I don't know, they might be related to the chakra blockage.
Yeah, color's a good sign. That means energy's moving, spirit's moving. So, okay. All right. So, we're going to do another chart. We're going to do a fear chart. Okay. So, what I want you to do is close your eyes. And focus on stepping into the life you desire. Breathing through your mouth with your body. Become aware of whatever fear comes up around stepping in to that part of your life, that what you truly desire. Could be to start your own business. Could be to leave that job. Who knows? Become an alternative therapist. Breathing through your mouth, I want you to feel this fear in your life. Breathe into it. The body will often want to go into shallow breathing when fear comes up. Feel, how does it affect you, that fear? How does that hold you back? Become aware of where it resides in the body. So breathing can be in the most unusual places. We're going to go to the original chime chart to find out where it came from. So you can open your eyes just for this bit and pick a number between 1 and 24 there. Pick one of these guys as we did before. Just notice what it is. Okay. I want to yawn now. Energy shifting, so we can do the command code now. Now you've got consciousness to it, so everyone switch their microphones on and repeat after me. It's more powerful we have our microphones on. Do this together. You can look on the screen if you want. This is the command code at the bottom of it. Everything is built on command codes. So repeat after me. Higher self.
Higher self. Higher self.
I welcome the awareness
I welcome the awareness
of this fear
Of this
fear
that has been holding me back.
that has
that has been holding me back.
I lovingly let it go
I
I
lovingly
lovingly let
I
it
lovingly
go
let it go.
and ask that it be cleared,
and
and ask that it be cleared,
balanced,
balanced,
released,
released,
and healed,
and
and healed,
and that the changes are integrated
and that the changes are integrated
with grace and ease
with
with
grace
grace and ease
through all levels,
through
through
all
all levels,
dimensions,
dimensions,
realities,
realities, universes,
or time frames.
or time frames.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, close your eyes. I want to yawn after that one. Let the energy shift. If you want to burp, you can burp. It's okay. I want to shake. Ooh, there's something leaving my body there. How does that feel now, Anna?
But there was a release, but then there's another layer again.
Yeah, you're busy. Your system wants us to clear it all, I think. So.
Yeah, exactly, because I felt I've cleared it all, and then again now there's another layer that comes up.
Another layer comes up. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Daniel, how was that?
I'm not really sure I can explain what I'm experiencing. Just a lot of tiredness and shifting of energy. So I'm just trusting the process, and somewhere or other something will pop up for clarity. But right now I can't say anything clear. I just feel a lot of energy moving around.
Yeah, that's fine.
My screen's gone strange. It's all gone black and it says safe driving mode. I don't know what happened. I didn't press anything.
It could be the energy. Could be the energy to fix the computers.
Okay.
Gabriella, how was that?
I felt very connected with the program they wanted to release. Right now, I don't feel like a huge switch. I don't know if it's fully released or not. But yeah, let's see.
Okay. Katie.
The two felt part of the same thing in a sense. I didn't really feel a distinct difference between the first one and the second one. There was fear in the first one as well, so it was almost like a continuation of the first one. So I guess I feel as though I feel not as how do I guess it doesn't feel as intense now, but it felt just like a continuation in the same thing. So
yeah, that's why I was directed to do the fear one, because I knew a lot of you had it. You see,
okay,
because it's about fear of trusting, really. This is what
right.
this webinar is about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's keep moving. I've got a couple more. The team, the healing team we work with, are throwing a few more in. So what I want you to do now is to close your eyes and focus on stepping into the life you really desire, and become aware through your intent of any past lives which are holding you back. And you might have been persecuted as a healer, for example, or a witch or whatever, for getting out in the world. Now might be holding you back this time. So it could be anything like that. Breathing through your mouth, because what we're going to do is we're going to clear all these past lives which are holding you back. And they'll just naturally come up because we've set the intention to do that very thing. Divine healing is all about intention. Energy flows intention. And breathe into those lives, whatever they are. You may feel a little cold. You may feel a little uncomfortable, because what happens is the past life files will activate in your fields. From a shivering. Become aware of how many lifetimes are involved. Okay. Keep breathing through your mouth, really important. That's how you bring consciousness to it. In a little while, I'm going to run the command code quietly, and we can activate that. Here we go. Keep breathing as I do the command code quietly. It's really making me yawn, this one. Whoa. Keep breathing through your mouth. And when you're ready, just open your eyes and just embrace the shift. Who would like to share about that one? Daniel.
I've no idea what you did that time, Nicolas, but I had a checkerboard of things lighting up in my body that was just pulsating in different parts. And that was, I couldn't name or feel any particular awareness of anything from a past life, but my body was moving about and doing stuff really unusual. So something shifting, and I had a really big yawn afterwards. So again, something's moving. What you're doing is affecting, but I can't articulate more. So yeah.
Just the past life feeds coming out your body that have been driving some of the stuff going on this life. Who else would like to share? Joanna?
That was really different. My whole left side was, energy was falling away just on my left side.
Yeah. It's been what's holding you back.
What's holding me back? Okay.
Left side is recessive. You've been held back a lot, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the whole bunch of stuff, programming from past lives that was doing it is gone.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anna, I'll volunteer you.
So that was really a wonderful release with a big yawn, and then there was a tingling in my legs, like when the energy was moving. And
Sure.
at this moment, I feel that between my heart chakra and my throat chakra, I'm vibrating. So something moved here, and really, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, good.
So
All right.
very nice.
Very good. Anyone else? Susan, do you want to say something?
Hi, David. I felt very, very tired and very dizzy. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether it's the breathing through the mouth or whether it's just the energy is not clearing.
Dizzy tends to be stuff leaving. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, especially if in the brain, basically what happens is that when you release deep programs, sometimes trauma comes out.
Mm.
Trauma shock can come out of the brain because a program has been released. And that trauma shock may not be from this life, it might be from another, the life you just cleared. That
Yeah.
you were processing in this life. So all sorts of weird stuff like that can happen.
Okay, yeah, because it feels very focused around the head.
Yeah.
The energy, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you had a traumatic life, Susan?
I haven't had a traumatic life that I'm aware of. I think there's been past trauma that I'm not conscious of.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is impacting now.
Yeah, you're just probably processing it in this life. So
yeah,
it's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you definitely had something's definitely trying to come out of your medulla from the core brainstem. I can see it looking at you.
Yeah, I can I can feel it. It feels just a heavy energy at the back of my head.
Yeah, I surely as well. Yeah. So what you can do is when I uploaded the YouTube video, you can play that part again and go through it again or take a deeper layer out.
Okay.
It's because the transmission of the healing is all stored in the video.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Shorty, how are you? Nice of you to join us on the video. How was that? You have to unmute. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Where you go?
Yeah, it was really good. I didn't get as much out of the last one as I did the first two. And it was like once it was complete, I had a hard time remembering what it even was.
Well, that shows it's really working. You often, if you forget what you just did, it means it's come out clean, like a scalpel just sliced it out of your system. and you don't have to know what was there because it's gone.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so often what happens with divine healing, you don't remember what you did for 2 hours, which means you did a good job because there's no residue to remember.
Right on.
You see, so that works. Very good. Thank you. Gabriella?
So it's also similar. I don't know what was that, but when you said that you might feel cold, I realized my hands are super cold.
Yeah.
And right now they're super cold. Yeah. So I guess something has changed.
Yeah, that's shock coming out your system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freezing cold shock.
Yeah, I can feel it still.
Yeah. So just move them around. It takes a little while to come out. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, people. Because we've done a lot of deep clearing, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a nutrition chart just to integrate. So nutrition is just like a frequency, just to calm things down, because our ego can only dismantle so many layers of the onion at once, and we've got to stay stable because we've got to function in life as well. So what we're going to do now is go to the nutrition chart. Okay. And this is energetic nutrition. So what I want you to do is I'm going to scan through this page, and I want you to pick off whichever, it could be an amino acid, it could be an essential fatty acid, whatever you're drawn to, whatever your eye sort of zooms in on, and write that down, okay? Like I got cysteine just in that jumped off the page at me, and everything else sort of just blurred out a little bit, okay? And you just pick your nutrition. You don't have to know what it does or even pronounce it properly. It'll still do the job because your higher self's in charge here, okay? There's minerals and vitamins here. You might need those instead. Okay, I'll go back up. Make sure you got the right one. Divine healing is all intention. Even if you just looked at it once and remembered it briefly, it would go into what we call the divine healing stack, and it would still happen because it's very intelligent in the system. Has everyone got their nutritional frequency? It's just frequency here. Yeah? Okay, so switch your microphones on. We're going to do this command code together. It's more powerful when we can hear each other. Okay. All right. Here we go. After me. Higher self.
Higher self.
Please encode this nutrient.
Please encode this nutrient
In the perfect balance.
in the perfect balance
That is required.
that is required. That is
Clear
required.
and align
And clear and align
all pathways
All
all pathways
for maximum assimilation,
For my
for maximum assimilation,
absorption,
absorption,
and utilization.
And
and
utilization.
utilization.
Ooh, I'm really shivering now. I'm feeling really cold. Just feel the shift. You find your vision may get sharper and the room may go brighter, sort of stuff. Thank you. That's just trying to integrate and calm the whole system down. Okay. How was that? Anyone want to share that one?
I'm feeling much more awake than I was, and I've had a long day. I'm
Yeah. Well, I think
definitely energized.
you just dropped a whole bunch of emotional separation, Daniel. It was just trying to come out. You just excised it, basically. That's what you've just done just now. Got something deep was holding you down. It's come out. Yeah. Anyone else want to share how that was? Susan, how was that?
I feel a little bit lighter. My vision seems a bit clearer as well.
Yep. Yep. You just rose in frequency, you see. So
Yeah. Thank you.
you look a bit brighter, you see. You were definitely chewing on something pretty heavy before it was building up,
Yeah.
before you even came on the webinar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I had
Harini.
like tingle in my legs, in my left leg.
Well, I didn't quite catch that, Irene. Come closer to the laptop. What did you say?
I felt like tingles in my leg, my
Yeah.
left leg. But I didn't know.
Yeah, that's cellular already. Something's coming out. So you see, you do feel things. Things are happening.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Anna?
So I felt something. It was like a little bit of energy going from the bottom up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Things moving. Just integration happening. Very good. Katie.
So I noticed this time and last time I can feel more energy in my feet, which I hardly ever feel. So both times I just suddenly feel energy in my feet and think, oh, that's new. That's a new sensation. And also just my body feels a lot more relaxed because as you know, you were saying, interesting that you said that before about the left side, because that's where all of it was.
Yeah.
I was feeling a lot of tension on that side, and now I just feel a lot more relaxed. So.
Yeah. Peeling the onion.
Mm.
You guys have dropped a lot of layers tonight. So, okay. We just finish off now. You guys have done really well. So, okay. All right. So, are there any final questions here? Any final questions about divine healing? Switch your microphones on if you do. No? Okay. So that was a good little experience, I hope, of that. So if you'd like a bit more experience of it, to let go and flow with your abundance in delivering your gift of service, you can have those few private sessions, which are £178 or $240 US, and that's from Free Up Your Life with divinehealing.com. That can be done in person here in Surrey, England, or online on Zoom like this. Or if you really want to go the whole way and empower yourself, we have the next training on the 24th and 27th of March in person here in Surrey, England, plus Zoom globally. And that's where you will learn all 26 charts. It's a full experiential healing intensive where you receive all the charts, you give and receive all the charts, and well, I do the simple ones, but the complex ones you do with pairs, and you end up being able to do the work just not only on yourself but on others if you're a practitioner. So it's very powerful, and it starts at 12:30 UK time, 7:30 AM Eastern. I don't know if any of you guys in the Pacific, but 4:30 AM Pacific, but it's better than flying to England, which is what people used to do. And that is equivalent to only 5.5 hours of private sessions. You can learn to do it yourself, which means you can clear 80% of your issues yourself. The other 20% are usually core ego programs where you need an experienced practitioner to hold space for you. That's sort of a long-term, the most cost-effective way of moving forward. That's at the divinehealingtraining.com. And the deposit is £166 or $225 US. The full fee is £490 or $663 approximately. So this is where you get a tool which you can use forever. And if you do it, 2 or 3 times a week, a couple of hours at a time, your life will change. My life had radically changed after 6 to 12 months of doing this. Just so much had left. And I don't know, 10, 12 years after learning how I'd survive without it, basically. So there you are. Thank you, everybody, for total engagement. And I hope
Thank you, Nicolas.
Thank you, Nicolas.
Thank you very much.
We'll send out the video later to you guys, okay? And so enjoy, and it'll have the same effect as it does live if you use it again, so you can work on different issues, okay? But make sure you're not operating any machinery or anything like that, because you're going to be in an altered state when you do this, okay? So, any final questions? We're okay? No final questions?
Yes. I have a question because, as I said, I did the Divine Healing level 1 in person, and now I would like to go for level 2 online.
Yeah.
How does it work? Because there's a lot of work in pairs. So are you able to somehow pair people so we don't see everyone at the same time?
Yes. Well, Zoom is really good because we can pair you off into separate virtual rooms. We have total privacy. Only I can actually enter the room and see how you're doing. So it's actually even better than being in a workshop because you don't get any other extraneous sound. So so we break you off into pairs, you do your work, and you come back to this is the main teaching room here. So we actually have up to 20 rooms. So actually we can have 20 pairs going at once if necessary. So it's quite straightforward. It's very easy to use, as you can see, and the audio and video quality is pretty good. So even Londoners do it from the laziness of their bedrooms rather than come to Surrey, I've noticed.
What are the dates for level 2?
Level 2 is, I have to go and have a look for you.
Like beginning of May.
Yeah, I think level 2 is, in my schedule here, is 4th to 7th of May.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Yeah. So it'll be fine, Anna. Even our Mira loves teaching online now because she realizes you can still connect and you can cover the whole world. So we have people from California to Slovakia. We have people in Vietnam, Japan, Botswana. It's all over the place. So
I would like to ask if anyone else here in the group wants to do a swap session sometime next week, and if that can be arranged somehow.
yeah. Well, I think Anna's a practitioner. I think Anna and you, Daniel. So you're
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll connect you guys up. Okay. I'll send an email to connect you two up. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.